Why does one snap, 1 yard, or 1 second make American football feel like controlled chaos? American football is a territory battle, where the offense fights to move forward, and the defense fights to stop every inch. Everything starts at the line of scrimmage, the invisible border where strategy becomes contact. The snap begins the play, and in less than 8 seconds, 11 players must execute a precise plan. The offense gets 4 downs, or attempts, to move the ball at least 10 yards forward. A 3-yard run may look small, but in football, small gains build pressure and open the next decision. After every play, the offense must choose: run, pass, trick the defense, or protect the ball. A pass play is not random. Receivers run designed routes to create separation before the quarterback releases the ball. In the NFL, a receiver must control the ball and get both feet inbounds for a completed catch. An interception is a turnover, and it can flip momentum faster than almost any play in football. A fumble happens when the ball comes loose before the runner is down, creating instant chaos. When the offense reaches the line to gain, the chains move, and the drive earns a fresh start. The closer a team gets to the end zone, the smaller the space becomes, and every yard gets harder. A touchdown is worth 6 points when the ball breaks the plane of the opponent's goal line. After a touchdown, teams usually try an extra point kick, which adds 1 point if it goes through. A 2-point conversion is riskier than a kick, but it can change the scoreboard and late-game strategy. A field goal is worth 3 points, and sometimes one clean kick decides an entire game. A safety gives the defense 2 points when they stop the offense in its own end zone. 6 for a touchdown, 3 for a field goal, 2 for a safety, and 1 or 2 after touchdowns. Defense is not just about big hits. It is about spacing, discipline, timing, and forcing mistakes. The line of scrimmage is where every play is won first, even before the ball travels downfield. The pocket gives the quarterback time, but it can collapse quickly when the pass rush wins. A sack happens when the defense tackles the quarterback behind the line before he can throw. A great run depends on blocking, patience, vision, and one quick decision through the smallest opening. A deep pass is built on timing, trust, and speed, turning one throw into a field-changing moment. Football is a chess match with collisions, where coaches adjust formations, matchups, and tempo all game. Before the snap, both sides read each other, searching for clues, weaknesses, and hidden intentions. An audible lets the quarterback change the play when the defense shows something unexpected before the snap. Special teams handle kickoffs, punts, returns, and field goals, often swinging momentum in hidden ways. On 4th down, teams often punt, trading possession for better field position and defensive control. Going for it on 4th down is a statement. Trust the offense, risk the ball, and chase control. Sometimes the difference between success and failure is not a highlight play, but a few inches. That first down keeps the drive alive, and suddenly the entire stadium feels the momentum shift. The red zone is where strategy tightens, because the field shrinks, and every mistake becomes more expensive. Play action works by making defenders believe run first, opening passing lanes behind their eyes. A tight end can block like a lineman, catch like a receiver, and create matchup problems. Protection is teamwork. One missed assignment can turn a perfect pass play into a sack. A blitz adds pressure, but it also leaves space behind, creating danger for both sides. In zone coverage, defenders protect areas of the field, forcing quarterbacks to find small windows. In man coverage, one defender owns one receiver, turning every route into a personal battle. The safety often plays the deepest role, protecting against big plays and cleaning up mistakes. Linebackers must read fast, hit hard, cover space, and lead the defense between the lines. Edge rushers attack the outside, using speed and leverage to pressure quarterbacks before routes develop. Clock management can decide games, turning timeouts, sidelines, and seconds into weapons. Sometimes the smartest play is not a completion, but avoiding disaster and living for the next down. The 2-minute drill tests everything: accuracy, discipline, conditioning, and trust under maximum pressure. No player can feel more alone than a kicker when the game rests on one final swing. The Super Bowl became America's biggest football stage, blending competition, pressure, entertainment, and legacy. Professional football grew from rough early fields into a highly organized sport watched across the world. Every NFL team carries a city, a history, and a fan base that turns games into identity. Football culture begins before kickoff, where tailgates turn parking lots into communities of loyalty and tradition. College football is where many future NFL players grow, compete, and build their first national reputation. The NFL draft turns college careers into professional futures, but every selection carries pressure and uncertainty. Getting drafted is only the beginning. Rookies must earn trust in meetings, practice, and preseason snaps. Football players study film constantly, learning tendencies, mistakes, matchups, and the smallest details before Sunday. What looks instinctive on game day is often built through hundreds of quiet repetitions in practice. Officials keep the game fair, calling penalties that shape field position, momentum, and player safety. A penalty can erase a big game, proving that discipline matters as much as talent. Pass interference is about timing and fairness, protecting the receiver's chance to make a play. Quarterbacks receive extra protection because late or unnecessary hits can change both games and careers. Modern football treats safety more seriously, with medical teams, evaluations, and protocols built into the game. Football still celebrates toughness, but today the game also understands the cost of every collision. Weather changes everything: grip, speed, kicking, passing, and the courage required to finish drives. In rain, ball security becomes survival, and every handoff or catch demands extra concentration. Wind can turn a routine kick into a gamble, forcing specialists to trust feel, technique, and nerve. Rivalries make football personal, turning ordinary games into battles of pride, memory, and identity. In the NFL, late-season games can decide playoff paths, coaching futures, and franchise momentum. Playoff football changes the air, because every snap can extend a season or end it. The great quarterbacks are remembered because they stay calm when the stadium feels ready to explode. Football history is filled with final drives, where patience, timing, and belief turned pressure into legacy. A goal line stand can feel like a touchdown for the defense because it protects everything. Coaching decisions become history when risk meets consequence, especially in the biggest moments. Trick plays work because defenses are trained to react fast, and one false step opens everything. But when deception fails, the same creativity can become a mistake that changes everything. The game. The kneel down is football's quiet ending, where strategy gives way to relief, and victory becomes official. After the final whistle, football often returns to respect, because every player understands the cost. The locker room reveals what cameras miss: exhaustion, brotherhood, pain, and the quiet meaning of victory. Defeat in football is heavy, because 1 week of preparation can collapse in a few plays. The next game begins in the film room, where mistakes become lessons before they become habits. An NFL game is only the visible part. The real work stretches across every day of the week. Veterans teach what playbooks cannot: rhythm, patience, disguise, and how to survive the league. Football's impact reaches beyond the field, inspiring young fans who dream through the players they watch. The game begins with fundamentals: footwork, teamwork, safe technique, and learning to love the process. On offense, every position has a role, from throwing and catching to blocking and protecting. On defense, the front attacks, linebackers read, corners cover, and safeties protect deep space. Special teams specialists may appear briefly, but their execution can decide field position, points, and games. For quarterbacks, football is speed reading under pressure, with defenders disguising answers until the last second. A running back's hidden block can be the reason a deep pass has time to happen. Great receivers do not just run fast. They sell routes, control leverage, and win timing. Offensive line play is easy to miss, but it protects every passing dream on the field. A dominant defensive tackle can wreck a play before the runner even reaches the line. Tempo can exhaust defenses, limit substitutions, and force mistakes before the ball is even snapped. Defenses disguise coverage to steal hesitation, and hesitation can destroy a passing play. A screen pass uses defensive aggression against itself, turning pressure into open space. A draw play looks like a pass at first, then attacks the space defenders leave behind. Near the goal line, teams attack matchups, trusting size, placement, and timing over open space. When every concept works together, football becomes more than rules. It becomes pressure turned into memory. Even after a huge score, football rarely gives comfort. The next phase begins immediately. A kickoff return can answer momentum instantly, which is why special teams never feel small. A Hail Mary is football's final prayer, low in probability but unforgettable when it works. In football, the ball can hang in the air long enough for an entire season to feel suspended. Sometimes the greatest play is not a catch, but a defense refusing to let history happen. Now the chaos has structure. Downs, distance, field position, scoring, pressure, and strategy all connect. Once you understand the basics, every snap becomes easier to follow and harder to ignore. American football may be rooted in the United States, but its drama now reaches fans around the world. After the crowd leaves, the field still holds the story of every yard fought and earned. Every fan starts somewhere, with one question, one play, and one reason to keep watching. At its core, football always returns to the same question: what will happen on the next snap? Once you see formations, spacing, and matchups, football becomes a story you can read before it begins. What once looked confusing now reveals rhythm, protection, routes, coverage, timing, and execution. A touchdown is not just 6 points. It is the reward for planning, pressure, and trust. American football is strategy, violence, patience, culture, heartbreak, and joy, all packed into one game. Now you know the basics. The next time the ball is snapped, the game will never look the same.